All right, guys, let's talk some more about play. Share in the comments what usually happens when you ask your child to play independently. Do they go find something and get into trouble? You know, that thing where it's way too quiet? Or do they just tell you that they're bored? Do they sit and stare at the wall blankly, having no idea what to do? Or maybe they follow you around like a shadow, even though you've told them to go play. Or comment what happens if you send your child to a social situation to play. What happens then? How many minutes do you get before someone's knocking on your door or dragging your kid back to you, telling them they hit a friend or broke the rule? Okay, so before we get started into the 5 crucial skills that your child needs to play independently or with others, I'm Melissa Corkum, in case we haven't met. I'm a parent coach bringing you brain-based solutions to challenging behaviors so that you can laugh more and yell less. I blog at thecorkboardonline.com and I co-host the Adoption Connection podcast. For those of you watching this on YouTube or Instagram TV, I invite you to join this conversation in my Facebook group. Just go to thecorkboardonline.com/Facebook to request to join. This is a group for parents who want to use brain science to tackle those challenging behaviors. We also have a free live stream webinar every month. And this month we have imagination specialists, Margie and Darren Fink, coming to you to teach you how to tackle tough issues using your play and imagination. We asked in the group last week what happens when you tackle those tough issues directly, and we used funny GIFs, and you guys, I had no idea how big of a topic this would be, how passionate you guys would be, and how many opinions you would have about that reaction from your kids. So if you have trouble kind of tackling some of these tough issues with your kids, I invite you to join this webinar. It's next Thursday, October 15th at 3:30 Eastern Time. You won't want to miss it. They have some amazing ideas and a really fun tool for you. If you can't make it live, you can always grab a VIP pass so that you can submit your questions ahead of time and they will answer them. And you'll also, that's the only way to get a recording. So you can just go to thecorkboardonline.com/webinar right there, to go ahead and reserve your spot. Again, if you can't come live, make sure you grab that VIP pass so you can get the recording. Okay, so I talk a lot about assuming a can't versus a won't when it comes to our kids and their challenging behaviors. So let's apply this to independent play. Just like there are physical developmental stages that our kids need to go through before they can reach the next milestone. Like think, I have to be able to sit up before I can crawl, or I need to walk before I can run or jump. The same thing goes with play skills. There's a progression that needs to happen from a physiological brain perspective and a psychological developmental perspective before our kids can do some of the things that we desperately want them to do, like go play, use their imaginations, and be able to play socially in appropriate ways with friends. Okay, so stage 1 is attunement. This is the syncing of a child and a caregiver, and it has to do a lot with attachment, bonding, emotional regulation, and felt safety. And if your child came to you through foster care or adoption, this is something, even if they were adopted as older kids, that they may not have developed with a safe adult early in life. This attunement, this being able to recognize social cues and co-regulate off of someone else. They have to be able to do that before they can start regulating themselves. Without that regulation, they're going to have a lot of trouble playing. The next stage is understanding your body and your movement, what your body is doing in space. Vestibular and proprioceptive activities, vestibular being activities that move your body through space, spinning, swinging. Proprioceptive are the ones that give us joint impact, jumping, bike riding, squeeze hugs. Those are all key to brain development, and they give a lot of really good data to our brain about how our body works. The body learning how to create rhythm and repetition in its movement is also crucial. The ability to find the beat in a song, to pass back and forth a ball back and forth in a rhythmic way. The body needs rhythm to regulate, and it needs regulation skills to play. The next thing that we notice as children are learning to play is object play. So this is the first thing that's going to happen as a baby or toddler, after they have that attunement with a caregiver and they start moving their body around, they're going to start picking things up and trying things out. They're going to start dropping those blocks or that food off the high chair to see what happens. They're going to throw toys. They're going to knock toys over. They're not going to play with them the way that they're actually supposed to be played with. They need to learn how to manipulate objects. Now, this is true even if your child is older, because they may have missed some of these steps early in their development. So you need to provide them with lots of opportunities to manipulate objects, fidgets, Legos, learning how to build constructively. All of that are crucial skills. After all of that happens, then we can start building into imaginative play. So imaginative play is really important in teaching emotional resilience, creativity, and personal coping skills. A lot of kids work out their big emotions through their imaginations and imaginative play. And then lastly, the last building block and the last skill is the social play. And this can include parallel play, which is what happens when we're first learning how to play socially. This is when we're playing something on our own, but we're able to do it in the presence of others, even though we might not be directly interacting with them. Cooperative play, right, where we're playing a game or we're engaging a friend in doing what we're doing with us. Rough and tumble play. I know this makes a lot of us nervous, and a lot of our kids can go from 0 to danger really fast, but it is important to, again, rough and tumble play. It helps work out a lot of the social kinks early on. Celebratory and ritual play. These are our birthday parties, our celebrations, celebrating over a job well done, all those different types. Storytelling and narrative play, reading books together, that imaginative play that some of us are so terrible at. You guys came back and gave me a lot of feedback after I posted about that. And then more creative play, right? More using our imagination, but with real people, right? Playing house, playing school, those types of things. So which of these 5 stages, attunement, body and movement play, object play, imaginative play, or social play, do you think your child needs a booster in? Again, if you're not in our Facebook group, I invite you to join. You can request to join at thecorkboardonline.com, where you can get ideas of how to boost your child's play skills. Plus, you can attend that upcoming webinar we have on using play and imagination to tackle tough topics with our kids. So I hope to see you around. Thank you so much for joining me.